Rick Ness has been a familiar face to fans of Discovery's hit reality series. Gold Rush, with his signature grit-heavy machinery, know-how, and unrelenting work ethic, Rick carved out his place in the mining world and in the hearts of viewers, but recently it's not the gold he's digging up that has people talking. It's the visible transformation in his appearance and the quiet suffering behind it. What many fans are beginning to realize is that the physical changes seen on screen, his altered facial features, apparent weight loss, and tired demeanor, are not just surface level. They are reflections of a deeply personal journey filled with hardship, mental health struggles, and personal sacrifice. This is the story of Rick Ness, not just the miner, but the man behind the machine. Rick Ness was born on March 5, 1981 in Escanabat, Michigan, a quiet town near Lake Michigan's northern shoreline. His early life was anything but peaceful. His parents, Richard Ness and Judy Marie Bedard, separated when he and his twin brother Randy were still young. The divorce uprooted the boys' lives, sending them bouncing between households. Eventually, they settled with their mother in Rhinelander, Michigan, in 2003. This constant movement and emotional instability during his formative years weren't easy, but they forged a kind of emotional armor. Rick developed a self-reliance and mental toughness that would later serve him well in the harsh world of mining. In a sense, adversity was his first teacher, and it taught him how to survive. As a teenager, Rick's future seemed promising. He attended Escanaba Area High School, where he excelled in football. His strong build, determination, and competitive nature made him a standout on the field, with hopes of going pro someday. But fate had other plans. A traumatic head injury during a game ended his dreams of playing football at a professional level. Just like that, a major chapter of Rick's life was over. It was a crushing blow for someone so young, and it forced him to search for a new direction. Many might have lost their way, but Rick Ness isn't most people. In 2003, Rick joined the 357 String Band, a Milwaukee-based alt-country and bluegrass group playing upright bass. Rick found a new kind of rhythm in life, one that took him around the country and even overseas. The band released 3 albums and gained a devoted fan base, giving Rick his first taste of success. Music offered something more than a career. It was therapy. It gave him a creative outlet, a way to express pain and passion without having to speak it. It was a world far from the chaos of his youth and the disappointment of lost athletic dreams. But even as the band thrived, Rick sensed it wasn't his final path. Rick's life changed forever at the Southeast Alaska State Fair. There he met Parker Schnabel, the young gold mining prodigy who would later become a central figure on Gold Rush. That meeting sparked a new chapter, and Rick traded his bass guitar for a bulldozer. Despite having no prior mining experience, Rick proved a quick learner. His mechanical skills and comfort with heavy machinery skills he'd picked up working in his family's construction business translated well to mining. More importantly, his drive and toughness made him an asset to Parker's team on Gold Rush. Rick became a fan favorite. His unfiltered honesty, quiet leadership, and sheer determination set him apart. Viewers watched him grow from rookie to foreman and eventually to mine boss. Rick's big break came in Season 9 of Gold Rush when he decided to branch out and lead his own crew. It was a risky move financially and professionally, but Rick had never shied away from a challenge. His first season as a boss was a triumph despite setbacks, including hiring 4 workers without proper consultation, a $50,000 mistake. Rick and his team hit a record gold haul. It was validation of everything he'd worked toward, a sign that he could lead just as well as he could dig. But behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. In 2018, Rick's mother, Judy, passed away after a long battle with cancer. Her death devastated him. She had been his rock throughout the instability of his youth, and losing her left a hole that nothing else could fill. Rick has openly admitted that her passing changed him in profound ways. The grief was heavy, and in many ways, he's still carrying it. It affected his focus, his energy, and his mental health in the seasons that followed. Fans noticed subtle shifts, slower movements, a wearier gaze, and eventually absences from the show. Altogether, mental health and the invisible battle in season 13 wasn't just a professional pause, it was a cry for help. He was later diagnosed with seasonal affective disorder, SAD, a type of depression that typically occurs during the darker, colder months of the year. The condition can sap energy, disrupt sleep, and create feelings of hopelessness for someone like Rick, whose career depends on mental toughness and physical endurance. SAD was a crushing diagnosis. It forced him to step back, reflect, and begin the difficult process of healing. But healing came with costs, literal and emotional. In a show of ultimate sacrifice, Rick sold his late mother's house to fund his mining comeback. It wasn't just a financial investment, it was a symbol of how deeply he believed in his path forward. When Rick returned for season 14, he came back changed. Thinner, quieter, and more focused. Rick tackled the season with renewed drive. He had fewer resources, a smaller crew, and a lot to prove, and he did prove it despite the odds. Rick showed viewers that setbacks don't define a man, his response to them does. His resilience inspired fans across the world, many of whom saw their own struggles reflected in his now. In season 15, Rick is back on screen, but his appearance has sparked widespread speculation. Fans have noted dramatic changes to his face, sunken features, prominent cheekbones, and what some believe to be signs of exhaustion or illness. Social media lit up with rumors. Was Rick in a fight? Was he using substances? Was something seriously wrong? To date, neither Rick nor the show's producers have addressed these theories. But the truth may be simpler and sadder than the internet wants to believe. Grief, mental health struggles, physical labor, and the aging process under high stress can take a visible toll on a man's body. What fans are seeing isn't the result of scandal, it's the result of a life lived in full throttle through hardship and heartbreak. The legacy of Rick Ness. Rick Ness's story is more than just a subplot in a mining reality series. It's a portrait of the human condition, messy, painful, and courageous. He has dealt with broken dreams, devastating loss, mental health struggles, and public scrutiny, and still he shows up. Still he digs in a world that often values appearance over authenticity. Rick stands as a reminder that true strength is quiet and true pain doesn't always announce itself. For all the gold he's mined, Rick Ness's greatest treasure might be his resilience, and that's what makes his journey one of the most tragic and inspiring stories in gold rush history. Rick Ness, one of the standout stars of Discovery's gold rush, has weathered more than just the harsh conditions of mining. He's faced personal tragedies, mental health struggles, and intense public scrutiny, yet through it all his loyal fan base continues to rally behind him. Over the years, viewers have watched Rick grow from Parker Schnabel's right-hand man to a determined mind boss. His gritty work ethic, no-nonsense attitude, and honesty about his personal battles have made him one of the most relatable and respected figures on the show, despite recent concerns about his physical appearance and a hiatus from Gold Rush due to seasonal affective disorder. Fans haven't turned away. Instead, they've shown overwhelming compassion. Social media pages, fan forums, and comment sections are filled with words of encouragement, heartfelt messages, and calls for understanding. Many fans recognize that Rick's visible changes are a reflection of deeper emotional wounds, especially after the loss of his mother in 2018. Rather than feeding into rumors, the Gold Rush community has largely chosen empathy over judgment, offering support and expressing admiration for his resilience. Rick's return in season 15 even under challenging circumstances, has only solidified his image as a fighter. His ongoing journey serves as a powerful reminder that strength isn't about never falling, it's about getting back up again and again, and for that his fans are proud to stand by him.